What are we doing? Wait, what are we doing?
All I want you to do is regress them back to before their first memory and install lots of good stuff.
Can you work with me?
Okay? If I must.
All right, then you guys.
I guess it's you and me then. It looks that way.
All right.
Come on up here, kiddo. Oh, somebody took my throne, you bastards. Go over here.
Sit on the chair.
Well, no, you bring your chair. I'm going to sit on... You have your chair. I have mine. I'm going to work on your pretty little head. I'm going to get it on for posterity. All right, make sure I get you. Okay.
I can use that one. No, just they have another one in the back.
All right.
All right.
Feel the smoke.
Just feel the need to erase something, huh, Katie?
Because I'm just cleaning your hair.
Okay, so I want you to face forward. So come over here, face forward for me. Okay. Now, while we're working together, is there anything that you want to have handled?
Handle? I don't know, maybe like past traumas or anything like
Past
that.
traumas?
Yeah.
That might take a little longer than 20
simple
minutes.
things.
Simple things, right? Okay. Is there anything in particular that comes to mind that you want to handle or you want to get rid of?
Yeah, probably like past relationships.
Okay. All right. So would you like to be hypnotized?
Yes.
Would you like to be hypnotized by me?
Why not?
Why not? Why are you looking up and saying, why not? All right. So throughout this process, I may touch you on the head. I may touch you over the heart. I may touch you on the shoulder, the hands, the leg. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let that breath out with a sigh. Deeper and deeper with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, Katie. All I want you to do is relax. Let go. Follow the sound of my voice. And any sounds you hear other than the sounds of my voice are simply the sounds of a busy clinical environment, people walking up and down, getting the help that they need, practicing their hypnosis. It's not going to disturb you or distract you in any way. In fact, it's only going to signal you to relax, to let go, to let your unconscious mind learn something amazing, to discover all the wonders that reside deep inside of you. And deep inside your mind, body, and soul, you can begin to learn about yourself in a whole new way and see your world differently in a way that allows you to fully and completely become the person you aspire to be. So in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to focus all of your attention on the lids of your eyes. And I'm going to begin to ask you to relax those eyelids so fully, so completely. Make them so completely relaxed that you couldn't actually open them without putting more tension back into them. That's right. And when you know you've got them that relaxed, give them a little test just to be sure. That's right. Now stop testing. Let that level of relaxation flow from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Deeper and deeper with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, Kate. Just allow yourself to let go, to unwind. And no matter how far inside you travel, no matter how deep inside you go, you'll always be able to hear my words, follow my instructions, obey my commands, because you realize everything I say and everything I do is for you, to give you the life you want, the way you want it, by your standards and your definitions. So in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to pick up your left hand with the fingers of my right hand. Don't want you to help me or hinder me in any way. In fact, all I want you to do is let that hand fall onto your lap only at the rate and speed that you can double, triple, maybe even quadruple that sense of physical relaxation. Want it to happen. Expect it to happen. Enjoy the process of allowing it to happen. Loose and limp, that's right. All the way down deeper and deeper. And deeper still, even deeper now, drifting, dreaming, floating, flying, all the way down. Now I'm going to move your hair out of the way so I can see your face a little bit, because it's important for me to be able to see you clearly so you can see yourself clearly. Now in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to open and close your eyes. Each and every time you close your eyes, I'm going to ask you to double, triple, maybe even quadruple that sense of physical relaxation. Want it to happen. Expect it to happen. Enjoy the process of allowing it to happen. Open your eyes all the way up. Close your eyes all the way down deeper and deeper and deeper still. Open those eyes all the way up. Close those eyes 10 times deeper now, all the way down, deeper. That's right. Deeper. And deeper still. Opening those eyes all the way up. 100 times deeper, all the way deeper. And deeper. And deeper still. One more time, all the way up. All the way down, deeper. That's right. Just let yourself go. Feels good to just go even deeper now. Drifting, dreaming, floating, flying. Noticing how good you feel. Feelings that are only going to get better. For as long as your heart continues to beat and your lungs continue to breathe. Good feelings are all that come to you from me. And from you to your own unconscious mind. Now in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to relax your mind as deeply as you've relaxed your body. And we're going to do that in a very special way. In a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to imagine the alphabet backwards, starting with the letter Z. With every breath you take and every beat of your heart, starting with the letter Z, I want you to make those letters smaller, darker, harder to see. Turn the volume all the way down. And when you know they're gone, all I want you to do is let that finger float up with honest unconscious movements to let me know. And we'll continue with the next part of our process. That's right. Now go 10 times deeper. And deeper. And deeper still. Drifting, dreaming, floating. Letting that part of your conscious mind, the part of you that analyzes, criticizes, judges, let that go off to its favorite faraway vacation spot, the place it loves to play. It allows your unconscious mind to completely come out and learn. That's right. Really learn. That's right. Number 5, going down deeper and deeper and deeper still. Number 4, drifting, dreaming, floating, flying all the way down. Deeper and deeper and deeper still. That's right. Number 3, down deeper and deeper and deeper still. 2, almost there to the very basement of relaxation. Number 1, very, very deep in this relaxing place. And any time you go into an altered state, whether it's with me, someone you trust, or on your own, you'll always go 10 times deeper. And all of my positive instructions, all of my positive suggestions, the ones you like best, the ones that help you the most, will become 10,000 times stronger, 10,000 times more irresistible, 10,000 times better and more joyful, more pleasurable than the time before, permanently installing themselves at the deepest level of your neurology. Will they only make your life better by your standards and your definitions, because you're getting exactly what you want. Now in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to use that amazing imagination of yours. And I want you to imagine, if you could, that your consciousness, the part of you that is connected to the source of all life and all living things, can begin to float up out of your physical body, floating higher and higher and higher still, while your physical body begins to go deeper and deeper and deeper into relaxation. In fact, as your consciousness floats up out of your body, a beautiful orange stream of energy flows in through the top of your head, and it begins to fill up your body with a warm, gentle, nourishing liquid energy. An energy that penetrates to every level of your body, to every level of your mind, that seeks out any place in your mind or body where you're harboring any stress, any strain, any less than positive experience, belief, resistance to change, or memory, anything that's not making your life better, anything that causes you to do things you don't want to do or not do things you really want to do. And this universal solid, this glowing golden orange energy, begins to seek out every place in your body where that's true, any place that's harboring any stress, any strain, any limitation, any less than positive experience. And like a magnet is drawn to metal, like water soaking into a dry sponge, the universal solvent seeks out every place in that body, every place in your mind, every place in your spirit where those things live, where they reside, things you consciously understand and remember. Most importantly, Kate, the things you unconsciously understand and remember. The things that were placed in there long ago at a time when you didn't have any defenses, when you didn't understand what was going on. The things that have been secretly waiting for you to go back inside and tell the system what to do about them instead. Like a magnet is drawn to metal, like water soaking into a dry sponge, that universal solvent seeks out every place in your body, every place in your mind, every place in your spirit, begins to soak into those areas, to dissolve them, to hold them in suspension, to pull them out of every part of you and in suspension in that golden orange fluid. And when you're completely filled from the tips of your toes to the very ends of your hair with that golden orange fluid, just raise that finger to let me know. We'll continue with the next part of our process. Perfect. Now go even deeper. Letting everything you want, everything that you enjoy, everything that you love, everything your mind, body, and soul truly want and need to feel fulfilled in every way, flow into you from that golden orange solvent as it replaces all the stress, all the strain, all the less than positive experiences with something better, something that gives you more of the resources, abilities, confidence, sense of deservingness and self-worth that you most want. While that other part of you continues to float higher and higher, flying up above the ceiling, up over the building, and up into a very warm and dark place, a place we call inner space. In the world according to David, you've heard me refer to a place called the womb of eternity, that place beyond time and space, where anything you can imagine, anything you can intend, anything you can act out, must become your reality in every way. It's that place that is fully connected to the source of your true power, where you're perfect in every way, where anything you want, anything you intend must become manifest. And as you float higher and higher into this place, you look down and you see what looks like a glowing highway of energy extending off from one direction to the other. And you can see it moving through you or around your body in such a way that you instinctively recognize that one direction is your past, while the other direction is your future. And when you see that line of energy, that highway of time, for lack of a better word, just nod your head and let me know. That's right. And now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to begin to gently but quickly begin to float back in time, back above that highway of energy, going back further and further. And as you reach the end, back as you're approaching your very first memory, you see a glowing ball of energy, a sphere of white light, and you pass through that light. And as you pass through that light, you find yourself in an amazing place. A place before you took on that body. A place before that very first memory. That's right. And when you're there, just nod your head and let me know. And go even further into it now. All the way back. Feel yourself shrinking down, going all back to being a little girl, a little baby, back to a cell, back to pure spirit now. And as you're in that place, notice how you feel. What do you feel? That's right. Just enjoy it. And when you see that spark that will one day become the body that is Katie, just nod your head to let me know. And I want you to walk over to that little baby spark, that little divine being, and I want you to hold her in your arms. And I want you to look deep inside of her and notice all the good, wonderful things about her. And I want you to send her all the love, all the acceptance, all the joy that she could ever want or need. Just let it flow from you to her in an endless, unlimited supply. Feel her just warm up. Feel her light up as that energy just hits her, that love, in the way that she's always wanted it, in the way that she's always needed it, fulfilling every part of her, nourishing every part of her, changing her in all the right ways. And then all I want you to do is begin to teach that little girl, that little spark that will become a little girl, everything she's ever going to need to know, everything she's ever going to need to understand, to be amazing, to go through the events of her life in a whole new way. And while you're doing that, I want you to also impart to her the idea we talked about the people who hurt us either by intention or by default are also victims of their unconscious programming. And transfer that understanding to her so that she can get it, so that she really understands it, so that she can learn that forgiveness isn't about the other person. Forgiveness is about yourself. To understand that the people who hurt us by deliberate and by design couldn't have done anything different because they were victims too. And that love, as God defines it, is to look for the good. So that whenever you look at yourself, all you'll see is the good. And you'll look for it, and you'll see it, and you'll find it. As you move through every event, circumstance, and situation in your life, regardless of how pleasurable or how less than pleasurable it might be, you'll instinctively look for the good. Look for the lessons that you can take away that make your life better. Just let all of that flow in. When you know she's got it, nod your head to her. And send her even more love. More and more. The more you have, the more you give. The more you give, the more you have. And it just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And let yourself just, that's right. Notice how good that feels. And now I'm going to give you some other messages, some things that I find helpful and that everybody needs to understand. I'm going to convey the basic message. You can customize it so that it's just right for her. I want you to look at little Kim or Kate or whatever she likes to go by. Say, Kate, Kim, I love you. And throughout the coming days and weeks and months, good things are going to happen. And not so good things are going to happen. People are going to come into your life. People are going to go. But no matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter what life hands you, I will always be here for you. To hold your hand when there's nobody else. To give you that hug you need when you need it most. To accept you and love you unconditionally no matter what. To give you the very best advice, the right perspectives to take, the right actions to make. So that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you'll always know. And no matter where you go, or what you do, or what life hands you, you're always loved. You're always accepted. You're always good enough. You're never, ever, ever alone. And let the truth of that sink in to every level of her mind, every level of her body, and send even more love in an endless, unlimited supply so that she's changed forever. And when you know that's happened, when you know that's true, when she knows it's true, try to go back to the old way and notice what happens instead. That's right. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, all I want you to do is begin to move forward through your very first memory, completely integrated with her. Take her in your arms, hold her to your heart, feel her shrink down inside of you where she's surrounded by all the love, acceptance, forgiveness, safety, joy, strength, courage, wisdom, excitement, passion, all the good things that are about her that she could ever want or need. An endless, unlimited supply. And feel the two of you moving together as that little spark takes on a body. That body grows into a beautiful little girl, taking on all those memories. Notice how all the memories and all the experiences she encounters from that moment forward are perceived differently because she's different now. And notice yourself moving through each memory, and each memory as you move back to the present moment, only at the rate and speed that's right for you, only the rate and speed that's natural for you. Every now and then after one of those key memories, you stop and you look back on it and you notice what you've learned. Notice how you've learned to look for the good, and how that voice, the one that reminds you of all the things that are wonderful about you, that are the very best parts of you, is still with you, guiding you, loving you, accepting you, nurturing you, inspiring you, motivating you, giving you the strength and the courage, the wisdom and the passion to go for it, to grab what you want, make it yours in a way that you know you're getting it. That's right. Feel the truth of that. That voice reminding you, guiding you, speaking in a voice that's 10 times louder than any other voice, that drowns out every other voice. And through it all, you're always loved. You're always accepted. You're always forgiven, welcome. And you're never, ever, looking for the good all the way back to the present. Every now and then stopping, looking back on all the experiences that most need to be cleared or re-understood today. Noticing what you've learned so you can keep those lessons and let the rest go. And when you're back to the present moment, just nod your head to let me know. Excellent. And now what I want you to do is I want you to continue to move forward into the future. A day from now, looking back on this moment, notice how your life's continued to change and improve. Notice how you've learned things in a whole new way. Go a week from now, looking back on that day, and notice how you've continued to change, continued to improve, and continued to become the woman who started as a little spark, who became a little girl, has become everything she wanted to be, and is on her way to becoming even more. And then go a month from now and look back on that week and notice how those changes have continued to grow stronger, more powerful, more pervasive in every way. In a way that you know you've got it. It's only getting better. And when you look back on the distant past, you only remember it in this new way. Only the ways that make your life better. And go a year into the future and look back on that month and notice how far the learnings have gone. Notice how deep the transformations have run, so that in your mind, body, and soul, you know you've got it. It's yours forever. And it only gets better. For as long as your heart continues to beat, for as long as your lungs continue to breathe, this process will only continue to improve your life in every way that you find fit and desirable, in ways that you know that you're getting it. So move another 5 years into the future and look back on that year, looking back on that month, looking back on that week, looking back on that day, looking back on this moment, and notice the change. When you know you've got it, it's locked in, it's only going to continue to get better. Begin the journey back to this present time, bringing all of those transformations, revelations, and alterations with you. Fully integrating into a body that is now beginning to allow that universal solvent to drain out through the soles of your feet and the tips of your fingers, leaving you nourished, nurtured, cleansed, healed, purified in every way that's important to you. And when you're back to this present moment, just nod your head to let me know. Excellent. In a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I reach the number 5, you'll emerge from this state only at the rate and speed that you know you've got it. Only at the rate and speed that your body is filled with joy and happiness and pleasure, strength and courage, passion, enthusiasm, desire to set the world on fire in all the very best ways. Of course, not in any pyromechanical ways, of course, but number 1, feel yourself returning to this place we call reality, bringing with you a brand new reality. A reality where you're the one that knows how to do this. You're the one that's done the steps, followed the instructions, obeyed my commands, has earned the rewards. Number 2, all of my suggestions from me. And by the way, you may notice feelings and emotions coming up. That's okay, just let them. That's a sign of the body reorganizing and rebooting and reprocessing. Remember, no tough little soldiers allowed in this process. As the feelings come up, you reveal them. As you reveal them, you heal them. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the body. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the mind for all the right reasons. Number 2, all of my suggestions from me to you to your very own unconscious mind, 10 times more powerful than ever before, 10 times more permanent, locked into that part of your mind, body, and soul that most wants, desires, and deserves this change and others. Number 3, always at least 3 ways to overcome any situation, obstacle, or circumstance that you may face. Always at least 3 solutions to any problem you need to solve in your other than conscious mind will now easily, effortlessly, and automatically generate those solutions in the quickest, easiest, most effective way for the good of yourself and all concerned, and will automatically implement them naturally, intuitively, truthfully. Number 4, because it's all for you, Kate. You've done the work. You followed the instructions. You've obeyed the commands. You've tested the results. You've earned the rewards. It's true for you now. On the next count, you can emerge from this state only at the rate and speed that you know you've got it. Only at the rate and speed that every level of your mind, every level of your body, every level of your spirit is in full harmony, full agreement, full compliance to all the instructions, conscious and unconscious, that you've received. Expressing them only in ways that make your life better, bring you more pleasure and joy in life, and create within you an unstoppable drive to get everything you want the way you want it, by your standards and definitions. On the next count, you can open your eyes, feeling good all over, glad to be alive, head clear, mind clear, peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. Number 5, take your time, come on back. Notice how good you feel. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie.